Have you ever felt an inner strength that propels you forward? A light that attracts attention, but also unexpected challenges in your daily routine? Have you ever wondered why, even with the best intentions, certain situations or people constantly seem to test your patience? The journey of healing and awareness often begins with this subtle perception, an awakening to the complexity of your own unique essence. This elevated vibration you carry does not go unnoticed by your surroundings, acting as a catalyst for diverse reactions in those who observe you. Often, what seems to be an external obstacle is, in fact, the reflection of a light that shines too brightly for some eyes. Understanding this dynamic is the first step in transforming discomfort into absolute clarity about who you truly are in this new phase. On this path of self-discovery, Carl Jung's psychology offers a profound map for understanding the hidden dynamics that shape our human experience. He invites us to look beyond the obvious, to recognize that the energy we radiate can be both a beacon and a magnet. It is an exploration of the soul that seeks clarity and self-respect, integrating parts of ourselves that were previously hidden in our own inner shadow. By understanding that we attract what we vibrate, we begin to take the reins of our emotional reconstruction with much more wisdom and courage. Let's uncover the 5 signs that indicate this unique energy, exploring how it manifests in your practical life. Prepare for a shift in perspective, an inner reconstruction that will lead you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your power. We will analyze how depth psychology explains the attacks you may suffer and how to transform these situations into tools for growth and peace. You will discover that your pure essence is your greatest asset, provided you know how to manage it consciously and elegantly in every interaction. The first sign of a woman with pure energy is her unwavering authenticity, a truth that resonates in every gesture and word spoken. She doesn't bend to external expectations, but lives from a center of self-worth and integrity that keeps her always firm. This inner coherence is a fundamental pillar for the peace and transformation she seeks in her personal life and also in her relationships. Being authentic in a world of appearances requires a courage that only women who have already healed deeply can truly sustain. This stance doesn't seek approval, but rather fidelity to one's own principles, which generates a vibration of honesty that is felt by all. Her truth is her compass, allowing her to walk with light and decisive steps towards her highest life purpose. This authenticity, however, can be an uncomfortable mirror for those who live in disharmony with their own selves and their own truths. Its light, by exposing the lack of truth in others, can generate discomfort and, at times, reactions that seem disproportionate and meaningless. It's a reflection of another's shadow, not a flaw of your own, because purity naturally confronts what is false, artificial, or manipulative in others. Often people try to extinguish your light because it forces them to look at the lies they themselves have been telling for years. Understanding that the other person's discomfort is their problem, not yours, brings immense relief and a necessary clarity to move forward. Remain true to your essence, knowing that your transparency is one of the greatest expressions of your silent strength and your awakened consciousness. This is where the importance of setting boundaries becomes evident in order to protect your integrity and your emotional and mental well-being. Protecting your authenticity means recognizing that not everyone is ready for the truth you carry in your soul and in your actions. It's an act of self-respect, a way to preserve your energy and continue your healing journey without being shaken by these influences. When you set clear boundaries, you are telling the universe that you value your light and that you will not allow anyone to unfairly diminish it. This firmness naturally repels those who only seek superficial gains, filtering your relationships so that only what is true remains by your side. Learning to say no to what harms your essence is the key to maintaining a high vibration and a completely peaceful mind. If you identify with this search for an authentic life and wish to deepen your understanding of healing, subscribe to the channel now. Together, we can explore the depths of Jungian psychology and unravel the mysteries of the feminine soul, finding clarity and peace for our difficult days. By joining this community, you strengthen your commitment to your own reconstruction and begin to walk alongside other conscious women. This space was created to be a haven of wisdom where each shared lesson helps build a solid foundation for your self-respect. Don't let your journey be lonely. Allow knowledge to be the light that guides your steps towards a full life. Your presence here is valuable, and your registration ensures that we will continue to grow together in awareness, boundaries, and self-love every day. The second sign that distinguishes a woman with pure energy is her deep empathy, an ability to feel the emotions of others closely. This sensitivity, while a gift, also makes her more susceptible to the toxic energies and experiences that may surround her social environment. It's an awakening to the interconnectedness of everything, where you realize that the pain of others resonates intensely within your own skin. This characteristic requires you to be a vigilant guardian of your own heart, so as not to get lost in oceans of feelings that are not your own. Pure empathy is a bridge to healing, but without proper protection, it can become an open door to total exhaustion. Learning to honor this capacity without letting yourself be drained is one of the greatest challenges in the emotional maturity of a high-vibration woman. This empathy, when not accompanied by clear boundaries, can lead to emotional exhaustion as it absorbs the pain and challenges of others. Rebuilding oneself involves learning to discern between compassion and the need to carry another's burden, always seeking peace. Often, your desire to help attracts people who are only looking for a receptacle for their own bitterness and unresolved shadows. It is vital to understand that you can offer light without needing to delve into the darkness of another to try to rescue them from their own choices and paths. Establishing this healthy distance ensures that your energy remains clean and that your capacity to help is sustainable in the long term. True empathy is that which heals without hurting the healer, maintaining the integrity of both beings involved in the emotional and spiritual exchange. Jungian psychology teaches us about the importance of integrating the shadow, both our own and the collective one, without being consumed by it. A woman with pure energy learns to use her empathy as a tool for healing, offering support without losing herself in the other's experience. She maintains her own self-worth intact by understanding that each individual has their own journey of evolution and that she cannot interfere in it. This perception brings profound relief as it removes from her shoulders the responsibility of saving the world or fixing what is broken. Her compassionate presence becomes an invitation for the other to seek their own light, instead of becoming dependent on her high vibration. By acting from this center, you promote awareness in an elegant, respectful, and truly effective way for all those around you. Setting boundaries here is not an act of selfishness, but of self-preservation, allowing your energy to flow healthily and constructively in your life. It's a maturing process that empowers you to help more effectively without compromising your own journey of transformation and liberation. By saying, "This far you may come," you protect the sacred ground of your mind and ensure that your peace is non-negotiable. This firmness prevents emotional predators or people seeking control from finding loopholes in your kindness to manipulate or wear you down. You discover that your empathy is much more potent when you are well and balanced because your light shines more steadily. Honor your time of reflection and your need for silence, for they are the fuel that keeps your sensitivity functioning with clarity and love. This woman understands that her capacity to feel is a strength, not a weakness to be hidden or denied in the face of pressure. She channels this sensitivity to promote healing and awareness, inspiring those around her to also seek their own personal transformation. By showing that it is possible to be sensitive and strong at the same time, she breaks old paradigms about female fragility and affection. Her life becomes an example of how conscious love can transform realities without needing aggression or shouting to be heard. Every gesture of compassion she offers is guided by self-respect, ensuring that the exchange is always balanced and nourishing for her precious soul. The reconstruction of the feminine necessarily involves this revaluation of empathy as a tool of sovereignty and deep connection with life. The third sign of a woman with pure energy is her keen intuition, an inner voice that guides her with clarity and precision. She trusts her hunches, even when external logic seems to point in a completely opposite direction to her deep inner feelings. This profound connection with her inner self is an inexhaustible source of silent strength that protects her from deception and false promises. Her intuition acts as an infallible radar, detecting subtleties that the physical eyes and rational mind often fail to perceive immediately. By following this inner guide, she saves time and energy, avoiding paths that could lead to further burnout or patterns of control. Trust in the unseen becomes her greatest ally in building a fulfilling life, where each step is guided by the wisdom of the soul. This intuition, however, can be misinterpreted or even ignored by those who operate only on the rational and mechanical plane of life. Your ability to perceive hidden truths can generate discomfort in environments where superficiality and lies prevail as rules of social interaction. Often, you know something is wrong even before any physical evidence appears, which can cause strangeness in those who observe you. Those who seek to exert emotional manipulation feel threatened by your perception, as they realize they will not be able to deceive you for long with mind games. This intuitive clarity is what allows you to anticipate movements and protect yourself even before the toxic experience tries to approach you. Honoring this voice is a sacred duty to your emotional security and to maintaining your vibration always high and pure. It is crucial that this woman honors her intuition, using it as a shield and a guide to establish firm and non-negotiable boundaries in her life. She learns to trust her instincts to identify toxic experiences and people who seek to drain her energy without offering anything in return. Protecting her sacred space and inner peace requires that she not ignore the small warnings that her body and soul constantly send. If something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't, and the high-vibration woman has learned to respect this signal without needing explanations. This stance prevents her from falling into control traps disguised as good intentions, keeping her autonomy and freedom always intact and sovereign. Intuition is the language of the self, and speaking this language fluently is the guarantee of a safe journey towards wholeness and healing. The fourth sign that characterizes a woman with pure energy is her remarkable resilience, the ability to constantly rise again and rebuild herself. She is not defined by the experiences that hurt her, but by the strength she finds to move forward with her head held high and in peace. This ability to transform pain into a catalyst for growth is what ensures that she never remains in the role of victim. Even in the face of the greatest storms, she finds an inner balance that allows her to start over with more wisdom and clarity than before. Pure resilience is not about not falling, but about how you get up and what you decide to do with the lessons learned. Her journey becomes a mosaic of overcoming challenges that prove the immensity of her silent strength and her commitment to the light. This resilience doesn't mean the absence of pain, but the ability to process it and learn from it without being consumed by negative feelings. She understands that every experience, even the most exhausting, contains a valuable lesson for her journey of healing and profound emotional growth. Instead of shutting herself off from the world, she uses her wounds as portals to a sharper awareness of human nature and its challenges. Pain becomes a harsh but effective teacher, honing her self-worth and teaching her not to accept less than she deserves. By embracing her vulnerability, she discovers that true strength lies in the ability to feel and yet choose reconstruction and peace. This inner transformation is what allows her to rise from the ashes of any toxic situation with an even more intense and pure glow. Jungian psychology reminds us that the soul seeks wholeness, and resilience is a testament to this relentless pursuit of inner balance. A woman with pure energy embraces the process of transformation, seeing each turning point as an opportunity to break free from old patterns of pain. She understands that to build the new, it is often necessary to let the old crumble without fear of the consequences or constant judgment from others. Each rebirth strengthens her connection with the self, making her more integrated and less dependent on external validation to feel safe and loved. Constant reconstruction is the hallmark of someone who understands that life is movement and that stagnation is the only true danger to the soul. By flowing with the changes, she maintains her high vibration and her mind focused on creative solutions to the challenges that arise along the way. Setting boundaries is an integral part of this resilience, as it teaches one to protect their energy from influences that could hinder their rebuilding and peace. It recognizes that inner peace depends on the ability to say no to anything that distracts them from their purpose and essence. By setting healthy boundaries, they ensure that cycles of pain don't repeat themselves and that their vital energy is invested only in what is constructive. This stance prevents them from being drained by recurring situations of disrespect or control, allowing their focus to remain on their own evolution. Resilience is strengthened when we learn that not every battle deserves our presence and that withdrawing can be the greatest act of courage. It's an exercise in self-respect that propels them forward, ensuring that their maturation is continuous, elegant, and very powerful. This woman is a living example that reconstruction is an ongoing process, a dance between what was and what will be in her life. She emerges from each challenge with renewed clarity, ready to embrace the next phase of her transformation with hope and great strength. Her presence radiates a silent force that inspires everyone around her to seek their own healing and not give up on themselves. By showing that it is possible to overcome exhausting experiences and still maintain sweetness and purity, she becomes an icon of hope. Her life is not just about what she survived, but about the beauty she chose to create from the fragments of her past. Constant reconstruction is her legacy, proving that the feminine soul possesses an infinite capacity to renew itself, to love, and to shine. The fifth and final sign of a woman with pure energy is her deep connection to a higher purpose, a vocation that transcends. She doesn't live only for herself, but to contribute to the healing and elevation of consciousness in the world through her own light. This mission acts as an anchor amidst life's storms, preventing her from getting lost in trivial worries or wounded egos. Her actions are guided by an unwavering sense of peace, knowing that every small positive action reverberates in the harmony of the collective and spiritual whole. The connection with the sacred feminine and universal wisdom gives her the necessary security to tread paths that few dare to travel. She understands that her life is an instrument of something greater, and this perception brings a dignity and strength that are truly admirable. This connection to purpose acts as a shield, protecting her from toxic experiences and emotional manipulations that could lead her astray. She understands that her mission is greater than any momentary challenge, and this perspective keeps her steadfast on her journey of total liberation. When you know where you are going, and the reason for your existence. External attempts at control lose their power and impact. You cease to be an easy target for those seeking to diminish you, because your value is grounded in something that doesn't depend on opinions. This clarity of purpose acts as a vibrational filter, attracting only situations and people that resonate with your soul's task. Your life gains a new dimension of depth, where each encounter is seen as an opportunity to serve the light and promote peace. It is this inner strength that empowers her to set clear boundaries, for she knows that her energy is a precious resource that must be protected. She does not allow herself to be drained by situations that do not resonate with her self-worth and her calling, maintaining her complete integrity. By saying no to what is superficial or toxic, she is saying yes to her divine mission and to her full reconstruction. The greater purpose demands focus and dedication, and the woman of pure energy honors this requirement with loving and very firm discipline. She understands that to illuminate the path of others, she must first ensure that her own lamp is full and protected from storms. This practical wisdom is what allows her contribution to the collective consciousness to be lasting, elegant, and truly transformative for the world. This woman is a catalyst for change, inspiring others to discover their own purpose and embark on their journeys of personal reconstruction. Her presence radiates a quiet strength that invites maturity and a shift in perspective in all who cross her daily path. By living according to her highest truth, she demonstrates that it is possible to align practical life with the deepest spiritual values. She doesn't need to preach or convince anyone, as her very being is the most powerful message she could convey. Those seeking healing are drawn to her vibration, finding in her a safe haven and an example of how to live authentically. Her connection to purpose is the crown she wears with humility, knowing that her strength comes from the source of all life. Her life becomes a testament to the fact that healing is a process that extends beyond the personal, reaching the community and the environment. She is the embodiment of consciousness in action, a beacon of hope illuminating the path to a new beginning and profound transformation. By dedicating her energy to rebuilding harmony, she plants seeds of peace that will flourish for generations, leaving a legacy of conscious love. Her journey does not end with herself, but flows like a river that nourishes all it touches, promoting life and absolute truth. The maturity she has achieved is now generously shared through her high vibration and exemplary self-respect for all. You are the channel through which the universe expresses its beauty and wisdom, and your faithfulness to purpose is what guarantees your fulfillment. This dynamic can be understood through the lens of Jungian psychology, which speaks very clearly about the projection of the shadow. Those who cannot integrate their own unrecognized parts may project them onto you, seeing in their pure form what they fear most. It is a toxic experience that requires clarity in order not to absorb as your own a guilt or inadequacy that belongs solely to the other individual. Your light acts as a mirror where others see their own flaws and limitations, and often their reaction is to try to break the mirror. By recognizing this mechanism, you disidentify from the aggression and begin to observe the situation with a clinical eye of compassion and boundaries. Protecting yourself from the projected shadow is an essential part of your maturation, ensuring that your emotional reconstruction does not suffer unnecessary setbacks now. It's crucial to understand that these reactions aren't a reflection of your failure, but rather an indication of your strength and ability. Your presence, without deliberate intent, can shake structures and patterns of control that others have built to protect themselves from their own deepest truths. Seeing that you are free, authentic, and healed, those who live in manipulation feel that their power to influence you is null. This generates frustration that can manifest as criticism, gossip, or attempts to diminish your importance or personal brilliance. Feel secure knowing that if you are being attacked, it's because your light is fulfilling its role of illuminating what was hidden. You are the living sign that change is possible, and this challenges the status quo of those who prefer to remain stagnant. By understanding this dynamic, you free yourself from guilt and the need to change who you are to please or alleviate the discomfort of others. Your pure energy is a gift the universe has given you, and learning to manage and protect it is an essential part of your transformation. You discover that you don't need to dim your light so that others don't feel overshadowed. It is they who need to learn to deal with the brightness. Maturity consists of accepting your uniqueness and carrying your light with dignity, even if it means walking alone at times. Your silent strength lies precisely in the constancy of your vibration, regardless of the storms of projection that may occur around you. Continue your journey of reconstruction with faith, knowing that your purity is your greatest protection and your most valuable contribution to the awakening of the world. Setting boundaries is an essential art for a woman with pure energy, a skill that empowers her to protect her light at all times. It's not about building stone walls, but about creating healthy boundaries that preserve her energy and allow her healing to continue flowing. Without boundaries, her light dissipates, and her peace becomes vulnerable to the intrusions of those who seek only to drain her vitality or control her steps. Learning to say no with elegance and firmness is the greatest act of self-love you can practice in this phase of personal reconstruction. You discover that your time, your space, and your attention are limited resources that must be invested with wisdom and spiritual discernment. By protecting your inner sanctuary, you ensure that your vibration remains high, allowing you to continue being a channel for healing. Jungian psychology teaches us that individuation requires the ability to differentiate oneself from the collective and its unrealistic and often suffocating expectations. Establishing boundaries is a vital component of this process, allowing you to honor your authenticity and your higher purpose without getting lost in the shadow of others. By separating yourself from what others think or want for you, you create space for your true essence to fully manifest. This differentiation brings immense clarity about which battles to fight and which situations to simply ignore with the wisdom of someone who knows their own peace. You cease to be an emotional sponge and become a conscious filter, carefully selecting what enters your energy field. The reconstruction of the self requires this protected territory, where healing can occur without the interruptions of external chaos and egoic demands. By practicing setting boundaries, you not only protect yourself, but also teach others how to interact with you respectfully and maturely. It's a way of educating your surroundings, fostering awareness, and encouraging healthier relationships based on self-worth. Many people have never had boundaries set for them, and your example can be the beginning of their transformation as well, if they are willing. However, your main focus should always be maintaining your integrity, regardless of how the other person decides to react to your new stance. You will find that the right people will respect your boundaries and feel safe around you, while the wrong ones will naturally distance themselves. This filtering process is essential for your life to be surrounded by connections that truly resonate with your search for light and truth. Remember that the silent strength of a woman with pure energy lies in her ability to remain whole, even in the face of constant adversity. Setting boundaries is a continuous act of maturation and transformation, a turning point that empowers her to fully live her truth and radiate light. By protecting your light, you are not being selfish, but rather ensuring that you will have enough fire to warm yourself and those who deserve it. The reconstruction of your dignity passes through each boundary that you firmly uphold with the sweetness of someone who needs to prove nothing. Feel safe within your boundaries, for they are the guardians of your peace and the guarantors of a future free from toxic patterns. Your journey is sacred, and each boundary you set is an altar, erected in honor of your own spiritual and emotional rebirth. Her legacy is not only what she accomplishes, but the way she lives. With authenticity, empathy, keen intuition, resilience, and a very clear purpose. She inspires others to seek their own liberation, to face their shadows with courage, and to embrace the turning point that will lead them to a new beginning. Her mere existence is a reminder that it is possible to be pure in a cynical world and strong in a world that confuses sweetness with weakness. By leaving trails of peace wherever she goes, she plants seeds of awareness that will germinate in due time in other wounded and thirsty hearts. Her example of self-respect is the greatest lesson she leaves for future generations of women seeking their own place of power. The transformation she has brought about in herself reverberates in the collective, raising the frequency of every environment she consciously chooses to inhabit. Her presence is an invitation to maturity, a reminder that true healing comes from within, from a constant reconstruction of her deepest self. She does not fear transformation, but embraces it as an ally in her quest for clarity and a life fully aligned with her pure essence. With each new phase, she discovers new layers of herself that need attention, love, and boundaries, and she welcomes them with the wisdom of one who has already triumphed. This dedication to self-knowledge is what keeps her vibration always high and her energy field protected against the external shadows of the noisy world. She understands that being a channel of pure energy requires eternal vigilance and unwavering fidelity to the principles of peace and integral self-respect. Her journey is a constantly evolving work of art, where each chapter brings more light, more strength, and more freedom to her spirit. If you feel inspired by this journey of self-discovery and wish to continue exploring the paths of Jungian psychology for your transformation, sign up now, join our community, and strengthen your inner voice, finding support to set your boundaries and protect your light from any shadows cast. Your participation is fundamental to building together a space of healing, awareness, and reconstruction, where self-respect is our supreme and sovereign law. By registering, you declare to the universe that you are ready for your own transformation and that you will accept nothing less than fullness. Let's walk together, transforming pain into wisdom and toxic experiences into stepping stones to a life of peace, joy, and purpose. Your journey is valuable, your light is needed, and the world eagerly awaits the full blossoming of your purest and most divine essence.